Hi, I'm Paul. We are going to be doing an AP Computer Science A practice test. These are the free response questions. There's 4 of them, so let's get started. All right, an item is any object sold in store. Items have a description, an ID number, and a price. So we can see those here. Those are private variables in the item class, and then there are public getters for each of them. Okay. A store manipulates. I wish that was a little bit bigger. A store manipulates a collection of items. The information for a store is contained in the store class. Let's take a quick look. Store has a private variable containing an array list of all of the items. And then it has some other methods that we probably don't need to, that we probably don't need to look at in detail until we have some context for them. Write the store method, raise all prices. This method should change the price of each item to be its current price plus the amount specified in the parameter. Okay, I think as I was looking at the item, item actually has a raise price amount. So we can use that to raise the price of all of the items. We can iterate through the all items list, and what does raise all prices? Okay, plus the amount specified. So yeah, so the amount specified, and we can pass that into the raise price method of item. You gotta be careful about this. Don't write code for methods that already exist. Make sure that you are aware of what methods already exist and use them accordingly. All right, so let's flip over to this. And so what we want is, actually, let me get the method again. Public void raise all prices. Okay. So it looks like this: public void raise all prices. It takes a parameter to double called amount. And so what we can do is we can say for each item, and I guess we could call it item, in what is the variable name? Variable name is all items. Okay, so for each item in all items, what we want to do is call item dot raise price and send in the amount, which is this variable right here. All right, close that, close that. Again, what is raise price? Raise price is this, say, method in the item class. All right, let's go to part B. Write the store method, remove all. Method, remove all. removes from the all items list all items with the description specified in the parameter. Let's take a quick look at that. Remove all. All right, so it takes a string, and that is a description. Each item has a description. All right, good. For example, a call to remove all screwdriver would remove all the screwdriver items from the list. Note that there could be many screwdriver items in the list with the same description but different prices and item IDs. Okay, so we don't care about the prices and the item IDs. We just care about the description. All right. And that would have to be removed from all items. All right. Let me think about this. For a second. Okay, this is a little bit tricky. Okay, because we're iterating through a list. Normally, if you iterate through a list, you would use list name dot size as your exit condition. But if we're removing items, the size is going to change. So let's see, let me think about how to explain this. All right, I'm going to try to explain it like this. Well, I is initially going to be 0. Okay, this is something that comes up a lot on AP questions is removing elements from a list. All right, so here's the problem. If we just write a for loop and we say for I equals 0, I less than list dot size I plus plus, and we go through it and we start removing things. All right, so the S here, let's let the S's be screwdrivers. Okay, so first time through the loop, I is 0. This is not a screwdriver. All right, let's go to the next item. 1, that is a screwdriver, so we remove it from the list. Okay, now because we removed it from the list, that changes the index. It also changes the size. So this now becomes index 1, and this becomes index 2. All right, next time through the loop, now we go to 2. Okay, we have a problem because we are here. Because we removed that item, we changed the index of the second screwdriver, and now we are going to miss it. All right, so we have to write the method in a way that allows us to remove items from the list without missing anything. Okay. So let's go over to, so this is public void remove all. Let's go back over here and say public void remove all, and it takes a string, which I think is DESCR. Is that correct? Yes. All right. We want to write this. We can't write a for loop. Okay? We definitely can't write a for each loop. Never use a for each loop to remove elements from a list. All right. Let's manage the index ourselves. Actually, we can't do it that way. Let's say int index equals 0. All right. While index is less than, it's called all items is the list name, is less than all items dot size. what we want to do is get the item. Item equals all items. I think I already copied that. All items get at the index. All right, we've got the item. Does the description of the item match the description input? So if item dot, and don't do something like this, description. Item does have a property called description, but it's private. So in order to access it, we need to say get description. If item get description, also because these are strings, don't do this, equals DESCR, then all items dot remove, and we provide the index. Okay, that's it. Else index plus plus, and close everything. Yeah, okay. Notice what's happening here is that when we remove an item, we don't increment the index. So in the example that we in the example that we looked at, where we had an X at, or we had a screwdriver at index 1, we also had a screwdriver at index 2. So if we go through something like this and we say, okay, we've got a screwdriver at index 1 and we remove it, that pushes the second screwdriver over. Now it is at index 1, but it's okay because we didn't increment the index. We only increment the index when we don't find a screwdriver. So this is the canonical way of doing this, of removing items from a list and not getting your index mixed up so that you miss items. All right. This is important to know. This shows up on AP questions a lot. All right. I think that's it. Show answer never works on these. All right. Next question. In this question, yeah, the second question is always, I'm not sure how to describe the first question. It's kind of an algorithm question that tests your ability to write methods, to call methods. The second question in free response is it's always a class implementation. So in this question, you will write the implementation of a line segment class, which has two endpoints, each of which is a point object. The point class is shown below. It has an X value and a Y value, as points usually do. The line segment class has a starting point and an end point. It provides a constructor and the following method. Oh gosh, you know what? It doesn't give us anything here. The line segment class has a starting point and an end point. It provides a constructor and the following method. Get length, which returns the length of the line segment. Get midpoint, which returns the midpoint of the line segment. Is longer than, which is true if the current line segment is longer than the line segment parameter. Otherwise, false. Recall that good, they give us the formulas. All right, suppose that a line segment has endpoints X, 1. Okay, so yeah, so there's a length formula. X2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Take the square root of it. Midpoint, add the x coordinates divided by 2, add the y coordinates divided by 2. And yeah, I mean, let's just do it one step at a time. And we're going to write a line segment class. All right. Okay, so a line segment class has 2 endpoints, each of which is a point. All right, that's a good starting spot. Let's get rid of this and say where am I here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Public class line segment that will have 2 points. Private point. And I guess we can do this. Private point P2. All right, now we need a constructor. Constructor is going to be public line segment, and it is going to take 2 points. P1. You could give these different names. Point 1 and point 2 if you wanted to. And then but I wanted to illustrate something, and that is we will say this dot P1, meaning that means P1 right here, okay? Not P1 here. P1 there is just P1, okay? And the same thing for P2. All right, that gives us a constructor. What is the next thing that we need here? The next thing we need is get length. All right, get length. Okay. Public get length. So that's going to return a double get length. Okay. So we subtract, okay, get length, x1 minus x2. All right, let's do this double. We have to subtract the x coordinates. So we have P1 dot. Now I've got to refresh my memory on. Okay, so we have get x and get y. Get x, get y. All right. P1 get x. No, this needs a name. X diff. P1 get x minus P2 dot get x. Get x. Okay. we need the difference in the y coordinates. So we have P1, get y. We have P2, get y. Return. So we need, the easiest way to do this is to say we've got x diff squared. Okay, so let's do x diff times x diff x squared plus y squared y diff squared. And we need to take the square root of that whole thing. Okay, so math dot square root of yeah, that looks fine. Okay. Where am I here? Where's the cursor? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so that should be the get length. Subtract the x coordinates, subtract the y coordinates, add those together. No. Square them and add them together. And then take the square root. Right? Subtract the x coordinates, subtract the y coordinates, square them, add them together, take the square root. All right, we're good. Next, get midpoint. Okay, get midpoint. This is actually going to be somewhat similar to get length. I'm going to copy it and just modify it. So the second one is called get. Did it give a name for it? Get midpoint. So M and P are capitalized there. Get midpoint. All right. In this case, we have I guess we could calculate it all at once. Let's call it x midpoint. Yeah, I'm okay with that. X midpoint equals get x for both points, add them together, and divide by 2. Okay. Let me copy that. Double y midpoint equals, add the y coordinates and divide by 2. And that returns, actually that doesn't return a double, that returns a point. Okay. So then return, get rid of this, return, we need to create a new point here. So return new point. Get rid of this. Return a new point, x midpoint. Whoa, I guess I got to tab that. X midpoint and Y midpoint. No, I already have the closing bracket. All right. What's next? Okay, add the x coordinates, divide by 2. Add the y coordinates, divide by 2. Return that as a point. Now, is longer than is going to take a line segment as a parameter. And then, well, we have a get length method that we can use on both of them, and then return a Boolean. All right, is longer than. Okay. It's going to be a little bit different. Public Boolean is longer than. And the input is a line segment. Usually in things like this, where you have an object and it has a method that takes an object of the same type as input, we often call that other. You know, you would do this if you were writing like an equals method. It's common to call it other. Sometimes programmers will just write O. But anyway, other. All right. So let me show you one way to do this, and then I'll suggest another way to do it. We can say if get length, that is our method for this object, is greater than other dot get length, return true. And then that's not the case, we can return false. You could even put an else in there if you wanted to. This is not great. This is a Boolean expression. So this kind of thing where you say if some Boolean expression is true, return true, otherwise return false, is not as Zen-like as it could be. You know, we could just return the Boolean expression like that. So I think that's a lot better. Return get length is greater than other dot get length. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Let's flip back here quickly. Have we forgotten anything? We have a constructor. We have a get length method. We have a get midpoint method. We have an is longer than method. Okay, that was you know, not super easy, but just take it one step at a time. Also remember, in doing these questions, you can get credit for work even if you don't do the whole problem. For example, in the first one we had part A, part B. Let's say you get stuck on part A, you can't do part A, you do part B. That's fine, you'll still get credit for part B even if you didn't do part A. On these, you will get credit for what you get right. It's not all or nothing. I think each of these things has like a 9-point rubric where you get a point for you probably get a point for the constructor. You probably get a point for the let me think. For assigning P1 and P2 correctly in the constructor, you would get a point for your method signatures, your headers for the methods, etc. So, yeah. And really, they're looking to give you points. They're not really looking to take away points, and they will give you the benefit of the doubt because it's not that easy. If you are used to writing code with an IDE that gives you autocompletes and gives you like red underlines the second you type something wrong, and now you're just going to write something on a piece of paper. Graders understand the difficulty of that. So, all right, so that's it for that one. Let's go to the next one. Next one, number 3, is the third question is about arrays and array lists. So let's take a look at what we have here. This question requires you to manipulate a string. Well, okay, so maybe I should say arrays or strings. In parts A and B, you'll write methods to reverse a string and create a palindrome from a given string. A palindrome is a string that reads the same from right to left as left to right. For example, a Toyota and Dad are palindromes. Consider the following incomplete string util class, which contains 2 static methods, reverse and change to palindrome, both of which I guess we will have to implement once we find out how to do that. Write the string util method, reverse, which reverses the characters of its string parameter. Here are some results. Reverse tac is cat. Reverse, oh, what? That is weird looking. No, I guess that's okay. It looks like there's a space in front of that P, but I suppose there isn't. And I can't highlight any of this to really find out, but I guess that's just the way the quotes show up here. So reverse tac and get cat, reverse P, get that, reverse rummy and get this. Complete the reverse method. Okay. So the method signature is public static string reverse. Public static string reverse. All right, let's delete what we have here. And we'll go to, let's move this. Let's move this. Okay. Public static string reverse. I believe it takes a string with the name str. All right, so we can just iterate through the string. We're going to need a new string s equals. S is a good name for a string that really doesn't, have any meaning. We can iterate through str and then just add those letters backwards into the s variable. So let's do for int I equals 0, I less than str dot length I plus plus. All right, now how do we want to do this? What we want is we want str substring of I and I plus 1 plus s, right? And then return s. All right, let's think about that. Can I write on this? So let's say we had, cat. That'll be str. We go through here and we get the numbers one at a time. All right, keeping in mind that substring is, if you use two indexes, the second index is exclusive, so that substring of I and I plus 1 will return just one character. So, this will be S. S equals, I have to give myself a little space here. But the first time we go through here, we will get the character C, and then we will take C and add it to S, and S is initially empty, so it will become C. The next time through, we will get the letter A, and we will add A to cat. We will add A to S. The next time through, we will get T, and we will add T to S, and that will reverse the, that'll reverse it. So, okay, so that's the reverse. Now we get to palindrome. Okay, write the string. Okay, write the string. You're going to change the palindrome, which returns a palindrome string from its parameter str as follows. If str contains an even number of characters, the return string is a palindrome that consists of the first n/2 characters of str, followed by characters that create a palindrome. For example, change to palindrome Bach. That has an even number of letters. So it has 4 letters, so we take the first 2 letters, reverse them, and add them to BA. We get BAAB. All right. If it contains an odd number of characters, then we take first n/2 plus 1 characters of str, followed by characters that create a palindrome. For example, change to palindrome, break. So we take the first 3, B, R, E, and then reverse the first 2. And we get B, R, E, R, B. Okay. Do we want more examples? I think I understand what we're supposed to do. Now, it says, oh, I see. Okay. Assume that reverse works, regardless of what you wrote in part A. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. Is even if you wrote something in part A that doesn't work, you should assume that it does work and use it in the change to palindrome method. And if you use it correctly, you can get full credit for B, even if you did not get full credit for A. All right, precondition. str is not null, and it has at least 1 character. Okay. And then postcondition is Now we return a palindrome according to the rules provided. Okay. So this is going to be called, oh, let me get the method signature again. Public static string change to palindrome. Okay. Public static string change to palindrome. And it's going to take a string input. All right. Let me think about this for a second. All right, so as with the previous problem, we're going to need some place to hold our answer, and that is our string S. There are some things that we are going to need to do here, regardless of whether there's even numbers or odd numbers. So first of all, let's figure out what is half the length of the string. So let's say int half equals str dot length divided by 2. Now, if that happens to be an odd number, I mean, if it was 4, if the string length is 4, then we get 2. If the string length is 5, we'll also get 2. And in either case, we are going to have to reverse that and put it at the end of the final string. Now, if the string length is an odd number, we're going to have to do a little extra work, but okay. So let's get string, actually, let's do this first. S equals str dot substring 0 half. Is that right? So we're going to get, yes, I think it is. So if there was, say, 4 characters, 0 and half, I always remember this by subtracting the first index from the second index, and that tells me how many characters I'm going to get. So half, if string length is 4, then half is 2. And I'm going to get the first 2 characters. Good, that's what I want. If, oh, wait a second. No, that's fine, that's fine. If string length is 5, integer division, half is also going to be 2, and I'm still going to get the first 2 letters, which is, that is what I want. So that's fine. All right, string S. Okay. I don't know. I don't like it when things get too jammed up here. Okay, we're going to need to reverse this. String S reverse equals S. Oh, no. equals, no, reverse S. Okay. Good. All right. So actually, if the string has an even length, we're done. So let's do this. If well, I need to kind of repeat that, but okay. If str, you know what? Let's do this. It's really better. So we don't have to call string length twice. Int len equals string length. Okay. Half equals len divided by 2. If len mod 2 equals 0, S plus equals S reverse. Okay. Else. Now we've got an odd number. So we have to put something else in there. We have to say S. Can we do a plus equals here? It's a little bit awkward. S equals S plus. We need to get that middle character. So that would be str dot substring. We need what we need is half. Yeah, half and half plus 1. Okay. Plus S reverse. Is that right? String, substring. Again, let's imagine we have a 5-character string. Half is going to be 2. So we got 0, 1, 2. Yeah, that is the middle. That is the middle character. Take that and then return S. Let me just ponder that for a second. Okay. Yeah, I feel good about that. Let's see. Is there anything left? No. All right. Go to the last question. Usually the last question is a matrix question. It's usually a 2D array question. Oh, here we go. 2D array. Okay. An airplane flight object is used to keep track of seat booked on a flight using a 2-dimensional array of strings. An empty string denotes a seat that is still available. Otherwise, the string is the passenger's name. After a flight is fully booked, it maintains a waiting list of names. If any passenger cancels, the first name on the waiting list will replace the person that cancels. The seats on a small airplane can be pictured as follows. It looks upside down. Suppose it, and I don't know what these things up here are. Oh, I guess, oh, okay, so it just continues in this fashion. Okay. Seats 1 and 2. Oh, if seats 1, 2, which I guess would be this right here, represents an empty string, otherwise it contains the name of a passenger that is not available. On this flight, seats 00 through 03 represent the front row of the airplane. Okay. Information for a flight is contained in the airplane flight class as follows. We have a 2D array of seats. We have a seats per row, and we have num rows, which is some positive integer. Seats per row is 4. And we have a wait list. All right. We have a Boolean function called isAvailable, which it looks like we don't have to write, but we can use. We give it a row num and seat num, and it'll tell us if it's available. We have a isWindowSeat, which takes a seat num and returns true or false. Okay. We have a O. Now the next ones, that's what we have to implement. So the first one appears to be book window seat. Finds the seat that is currently reserved. Oh, it takes a name. Find the seat that is currently reserved for the passenger with the specified name and replaces that name with the name of the first person on the waiting list. Wait, whoa. Oh, I see. That is, okay. You know what? That goes with part B. Okay, so let's see what part A is. Write the airplane flight method, book window seat. This method searches through all the seats to see if it can find an available window seat. If it does, it reserves that seat for the name, and it returns true. If there is no window seat available, it returns false. Complete the method book window seat below. Assume that method isWindowSeat works as specified. You know, you don't really need that, but okay. So we are required to use the isWindowSeat method to receive full credit. Book window seat string name. Okay. Okay, so let's reread this and be careful about it. We want a method that searches through all the seats. Okay, that's important. Searches through all the seats. In fact, if you're taking the test, you know, I would encourage you to be using a writing implement all the time. This is true of the, what do you call it, multiple choice questions as well. I mean, underline things, do your calculations, etc., anything that you need to do. See if it can find an available window seat. All right, so two key things here. One is available and one is window. All right. And the rest of it is pretty simple. Reserve the seat, return true, otherwise return false. Okay, so how do we search through all the seats? Well, you know what, I'm going to have to cancel the drawing here, I think. How do we do that? Let's get rid of this. we are going to search through all of the window seats. Okay, so it's rows and columns. So let's say, oh, wait a minute, what was I got to get the method signature again. Public Boolean book window seat. Okay. Public Boolean book window seat. That doesn't need to be capitalized. Okay, Boolean book window seat, and it takes a name. All right. So what they want to check here, and you definitely need to know this, is do you know how to iterate through a two-dimensional array? And what we do is say for int, I guess we can say row, int row equals 0. Unless something unusual is going on, you want the row loop to be the outer loop and the column loop to be the inner loop. So int row, row is less than what they called num rows. Is that right? Let's take a look here. Yeah, num rows. Doesn't say what it is, but we can use it. It's a constant. For int row equals 0, row is less than num rows, row plus plus. And then we have a nested loop for int. These are called seat, actually, rather than columns. But seat equals 0. Seat is less than, I forgot the name again, seats per row. Seats per row, seat plus plus. All right. If is window seat, and that, all right, now I gotta look again. What is the input to is window seat? It is a seat now, all right? So we'll pass in the seat. But we also have to know if we have, let's see, is available. And that needs a row num and a seat num. Okay. And is available. And that takes row and seat. Okay. In that case, then the matrix, which I think is called seat, right? Yes. Then seats at row and seat would be assigned the name of the person, and we can just at this point return true. That means as soon as we find it, we're going to return true. We're not going to go through every seed if we've already found one that works. So close that. We'll close that. We'll close that. If we get all the way through that and we haven't returned true, then we're going to have to return false. Okay. So that's book window seat. Next, part B. Part B. Write the method cancel and replace. Cancel and replace searches through the seats to locate the name in its parameter. It then removes the first name in the wait list and replaces the name in the seat with the name from the wait list. Note that a precondition of this method is that the name given in the parameter is in one of the seats and that wait list contains at least one name. Okay, good. So we don't have to, what that means is you don't have to do any kind of like error checking, special handling that might, occur if you're given a name that is not in one of the seats or if there's nobody on the wait list. So you don't have to worry about that. Complete the method cancel and replace. All right, so we have public void cancel and replace. Public void cancel and replace. All right. Public void cancel and replace. And that takes a name as input. Okay. Well, we're doing the same thing here as far as searching through all seats. So we can just reuse this. I know on the actual test you would have to write it again. All right, so we're looking at every seat, and what are we looking for? We're looking for if name, which is this input here, equals, be sure to use the equals method and not a double equals for strings. If that equals seats in the given row and seat, if that is equal, then all right. Then copy that. That is now going to equal wait list. Do I have the, is that capitalized like that? I think so. Wait list. Yeah, L is capitalized. Wait list dot get. And we want the first person on the wait list. Okay? Once we've done that, let me make sure that it's clear about this. Okay, yes. Removes the first name in the wait list. So we have to do wait list dot remove. Again, that's the first person. And at that point, again, we can stop. This doesn't return anything. It's a void method. But once we have found and replaced this person, there is no need to go through the entire loop. Okay, so close, 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 and close. Would you get full credit if you did not put a return statement there? Probably. Probably. I mean, I think what they care about is that you know how to loop over a 2D array, that you can test for the name in the seat that you can get the name from the wait list and replace it in the seats matrix, and that you can remove it. All right. That's it. I have a submit button here. I don't know what's going to happen when I click it, but let's see. Submit, right? 12% incorrect. Yeah, it doesn't, I think it doesn't grade the, I think it doesn't grade these. It's just going to mark them all wrong. All right. Well, we can review them. I wonder if you can show answer, like once you've done a review. Well, you could do see explanation. Okay. Yeah, let's see that. Oh, it tells you what the rubric is. Oh, and it gives you the solution. Okay. So this is what we did. Called the raised price. This one was significantly easier than the other ones, I thought. But yeah, so they're doing the while loop with the index to handle the case where something is removed and we don't want to miss the next one. A for loop does not work here. Anyway, that's all I have on multiple choice questions. Hope you enjoyed it, maybe learned something, and see you next time.